think as a spectator, it's one of the most nerve-wracking sports to
Right.
watch. If you're
Yeah.
pulling
It's exciting.
for somebody,
It's so exciting.
If you don't really care, but if you're pulling for somebody, I mean, because you're just on the edge of your seat when it finally is over, you're like, thank God. I mean, it's. I didn't know a thing about it before you guys started, became an Olympic sport, but I love watching it.
And
It's
like
way
watching
cool.
short track speed skating live is unlike anything you can imagine. Feeling the wind, hearing the blades on the ice, and the speed. I mean, the television does not do justice to speed. I mean, when you watch it in person, you're like, how are they leaning over at these like impossible angles?
Salt Lake was my fourth Winter Games, and that was one of the things I was like, I've been to a whole bunch of it's like, I want to go see short track. I said, I have to go see it. I got to go and see you, which was just way
Fun.
It's awesome. All right. So speaking of winning, how do you celebrate a big win?
Internally, externally, with my friends, with my family, spiritually. I mean, all aspects. I think you have to. You can't hold in something like that. I mean, and I celebrate not only when I win, in terms of results, getting on top of the podium. I think winning comes in many different types of forms, and it's very self-gratifying, I think, to be able to walk off the ice and feel good about the race, regardless of what result you finished. That to me is the true Olympianism.
It's a great attitude. All right, kind of a goofy question about sports. What's the funniest sounding term used in your sport?
The funniest sounding term? We don't really, I don't know, for me, because I'm involved in the sport, I don't really think of any funny sounding terms.
What do they call those little things that surround the track that y'all are always knocking off?
We just call them blocks.
Oh, all right, that's not funny sounding.
Yeah, not really funny.
Okay.
We don't really have one.
Yeah, I mean, figure skating, there's like a million of them. So,
Yeah.
Okay, well, there's not one, there's not one. You have just normal terms. Okay. All right, so if you weren't a short track speed skater, what do you think you'd be doing instead?
In terms of sports?
In anything.
Oh, wow. That's a great question. What would I be doing if I wasn't a short track speed skater? In sport, I think I would do anything associated with legs, power, strength, lower body strength. That's kind of, so cycling, skiing, snowboarding, some type of skating, something similar. Outside of the sport, I think I'd be doing some things on TV and hopefully leading to stuff on film. Yeah.
Well, speaking of, you've had some experience with that, with Dancing with the Stars. I mean, I can't think of something more night and day for being a professional athlete than being on a reality show and winning. Tell us about that experience, what it was like for you.
Dancing with the Stars was unlike anything I've ever experienced in my life. It was stressful. It was extremely fun. Very challenging. Exhausting. I mean, everything was involved. But more importantly, I learned so much about myself during the show and my own capabilities in terms of kind of my persona, my character, my personality, how to exude that to the audience, to the cameras, and to really kind of climb up out of my shell. And when I was finished with the show, obviously I was very happy that Julianne and I won. She was a great teacher, and I had a great experience. But more importantly, like what it did for me internally, I feel like I was like almost maturing into this younger man, finally from this kid who, I felt like a young man going into the show, but it was really like an accelerated like learning process about the industry and being on camera and how to handle it, and I enjoyed it. I had a great time.
I'm sure you went into, obviously you're competitive, you're an athlete. I'm sure you went into it thinking you want to win it, but at what point did you actually realize that you might actually be able to win it? That it wasn't just going to be fun and a different experience, but that you could possibly win
I think the fourth or fifth week on the show, I think there's about 10 weeks of competition. That's when I realized, okay, now we should start turning it up. Before, I kind of just thought, well, I just want to make the finals and I want to see what I can do. But then after the fourth or fifth week, I'm like, okay, I really think I might have a shot here. And, once you have that taste and that goal in front of you, you do everything you can to achieve it.
That's cool that you did that. It's pretty cool that you did it, and now our summer athlete Sean is doing it too. We're like, how cool is that?